I love notebooks. Since I only have two hands, I couldn't really throw any more down in that scene, but I have so many more. And looking at that stack of partially finished, some fully finished, and some brand new notebooks makes me realize that I might like notebooks more than I actually enjoy writing in them. One thing that has contributed to my great love of notebooks has been the addition of the pocket notebook into my daily routine and way of life. Now, I end up taking a pocket notebook with me every single place that I go. It is housed within this little carrier. I'm not even sure what it was. It was something on Amazon that I got. But this is my pocket notebook setup, and it has changed over the years. Let me show you how. The first time that I can really remember writing in a notebook very consistently and keeping all of my thoughts in order is in this notebook right here. Now, it had all of my notes in it, and honestly, a lot of YouTube ideas which I have followed through with. I named it Ideas of a Madman. Then came this notebook, which was Ideas of a Madman 2. I am currently on Ideas of a Madman Volume 3. But when I started really working and going into a job, I worked at Amazon, I found that when I was listening to podcasts and things during the day, I wanted to remember them. I wanted to keep track of all of these interesting things that I was listening to. Mostly a lot of like movie podcasts about how to make a movie, how to direct stuff. And I picked up various pocket notebooks. I would carry them around in my cargo pants every day and take notes on everything that I was learning. And that really inspired the current setup that I have now. Now, I don't wear cargo pants every day to work, but I do carry this in my backpack every place that I go, and even places to church and places like that. So in today's video, I am going to be going through my pocket notebook holder, exactly what I keep in it for optimization of my note-taking. Also, my latest pocket notebook has been fully filled up, so I'm going to be showing you exactly what and how I set up my newest and latest pocket notebook and what I would include in the very beginning of your pocket notebook if you are looking to set up one. So let's get into it. Also, I got a haircut, and this one little tendril of hair continues to defy every hair product that I put in. See, I can put it... Yep. So, pardon me if I look like a little Cindy Lou Who. It's a mess. Now, to start with this, I would like to first go through some of the pocket notebooks that I have used and kind of give my thoughts on them. Now, I've gone through several different types. I think that these hardcover notebooks are really nice, but they don't really fit into what I am trying to achieve with my pocket notebook. I don't prefer the lines as much as I do the dots, the dot grid. I find that I can do a lot more drawings if I need to, kind of plans. This is the first dot grid notebook that I started using, and I just kind of picked it up on I think it was a trip. I do love Bigfoot, so I probably just picked it up thinking that it was interesting, and then I started writing in it. Wait, this isn't dot grid. Well, I lied. I thought it was dot grid, but this is the first pocket notebook that I started taking around, and it kind of spurred the whole journey. So then I got into dot grid notebooks, being this and this, the field book. I know the field notes is very big in the pocket notebook community, but I find it to be a lot more expensive than it is worth. And to get a pack of like 3 for $12, I think it is last time I looked, I don't find that to be worth it. So I get these field books from Elan Publishing. I got a pack of those. I believe it was like 5 for $8. So I did a lot of use with these, and I have like 2 more, I think. So I have used these well. I'll talk about this a little bit later, but I find that these are very good. You can write on the front cover. Yes, I find these to be very helpful. But recently I've started using these. These are just unnamed notebooks from Amazon. I got a whole pack of them. These have not been used yet, but they will be filled up shortly. And I find them to be fantastic. One thing that I like is that they are a little bit of a smaller grid, so I can write more. And I actually prefer to write smaller anyway, so I find that this matches what I like to write like. Anyway, so now we will actually dive into the packet itself. Now, I got this notebook case from Amazon as well. It has a nice little front pocket. I like to keep a knife in here. This knife is from Wesson, W-E-S-N, and I keep it in here really for just the purpose of sharpening my pencil, which is a Ticonderoga. This is the old one that actually has cedar as the wood. This is a newer Ticonderoga pencil. It uses, I believe, pine as the wood, and it is really lacking in quality. So I am using this one up. As you can see, it's small, and I love it for fitting in this notebook. I sharpen it out really long so that I don't have to sharpen it often. I haven't sharpened this for I don't know how long. So I like to have a long lead on my pencil. I then have this Ridge pen, which is a tactical style pen. I love this. It is so smooth to write with and very heavy, very premium feel. I have a Papermate Sharp Writer, and just a couple weeks ago I actually started using this pen right here. Now I got it for a very specific reason, but it has turned out to be one of the best reasons. I used to carry 3 different pens in here, a blue, a red, and a green for purposes of budget tracking, and it took up a lot of space, and I had to actually have another pen off to the side here because they didn't all fit in this pouch. So with this one pen, this quad color pen, black, red, blue, and green, it hits everything that I need. So now I will be getting into the actual notebook and how I set it up. Now this is a new notebook. I've started writing in it because I planned to make this video, and then, you know, I couldn't even help myself. I just had to start writing. I just had to cut that because I opened the page and realized that all of my information was right here. One thing that I like to do is, in these Elon Publishing books, it is helpful because it has a space for it to put your name, email, and phone number, but I like to put my name, email, and phone number on the front cover. I haven't lost one yet, but if I ever do, then that would be a sad experience. And then I put the start date and completion date. So the completion date for this is actually July 31st. So I like to put that, and I've even put like the weight of it before, how much it changes with all the things that I add in. Yeah, so I like to add that. And in this past notebook, I actually started, let me see if I can find it, towards the end of it, I started tracking all of my spending. Started tracking all my bills, everything that I buy, sell, get paid, and it has been really helpful for my Bible notes at church. I found it to be extremely helpful for budgeting, tracking all of my money, and knowing what I should be spending, what I shouldn't be spending, and how much I should be saving. And then everything else in this is just random thoughts. That comes from a video. Go watch it. I won't even tell you which one it is. Quotes, if you do what you've done, you've always done, you'll be where you've always been. It really has no rhyme or reason. Future purchases, things that I want, that'll be helpful for my birthday. So I will go through, this is a project coming up, and that is the Bic 4 color pen test, what I'm holding in my hand right now. Mostly it is to-do lists. So The box system I love. I can go back through the notebook after everything has been done within it and actually mark off the ones that I forgot to mark off. Yeah, most of these fortunately are marked off. So I will now put my information in front of this cover and transfer all of my information over. Okay, now that I have put all of my information on this side of the cover, I like to typically put a quote here or something to remember, just something to kind of start off the notebook well. I haven't found anything yet that is too inspirational, so I have left it blank for that purpose. Next, I started tracking my money in the month of August, and that's where this colored pen comes in super handy. All of my purchases are marked out in red. All of my sales or paychecks are marked out in green. And I have my savings column over here. And sticky notes I have found to be extremely helpful. Extremely helpful. That is where these come in. I have come to many times where a person says, hey, can you rip out a piece of paper in your notebook and just give it to me because I need to take a note for something? Because not everybody carries a notebook like I do. And I don't like ripping pages out of my notebook. I like to keep my notebook whole, especially when it is a stitch-bound notebook. I really don't like to do that because then a lot of pages can come out of the stitching. So having a bit of a stash of Post-it notes in the back that you can give to people who need them are very helpful. And also just for making things like this in the middle of when you need them, instead of having to come home to your Post-it note stash. So I do that. I typically have some movies to watch list in my notebook somewhere that I will constantly reference and go back to. Wall Street I was watching a documentary on, so I like to see it. And then cinema is life with a point of view. I like that quote. I've been getting a lot into wood, as you could probably see from the videos that I have produced recently. Some wood projects, I'm creating a list of that. Things that I don't want to forget. Movie ideas. So I have two different types of ideas typically that I have within my notebooks. One is movie ideas like you see here for actual short films, actual movies that I would like to create or at least write down to think about. And then I have vlog ideas or YouTube ideas. So all of my YouTube ideas typically go on one page, and all of my movie ideas that are going to take more scripting, more writing, more thought go onto another page. And then there's always going to be things that I want to paste into my notebooks to remember, to hold on to. This was a flyer that I designed, a poster that I designed for my work for Magic the Gathering. So now we have Magic the Gathering at my work, and I created the poster for it. So I'm actually really proud of this poster. I think that's pretty neat. I will post a actual picture of it into the video so that you don't just have to look at my taped over. And then, like I said, I have constantly a to-do list going. Typically, like one every half week, I will go back in and update. I will obviously mark out the things that I have done already and kind of update to what I need to do so that I don't have to constantly be flipping back in the notebook. But that is kind of it. That's what I keep in my notebook. That's what I will have going constantly in my notebook, and kind of my thoughts behind how important it is to have one. I hope that this video has been interesting to you, educational to you, or at least inspired you to start your own. Maybe it just even gave you an insight into my mind. Now, the reason that this cover looks the way that it does, as a final thought and warning to you, is that I had some packaging of a Magic the Gathering box, and I used them on many of these smaller notebooks. I thought that it would be cool to decorate with that. As you can see, this one didn't turn out too bad, but it's kind of peeling on the edges. This one totally fell off. It's because I used JB Weld on it, because I thought, oh, that'll create a strong connection to the paper. I only had a little bit left in a container, so I thought, yeah, I'll squeeze it out and epoxy it. Do not epoxy things that you need to bend into move. It is not a moving type of adhesive. Use an actual paper glue to glue paper together. So thank you all for watching. I hope that this was informative, informational, or educational to you. Have a great day. One thing that has certainly increased my love for notebooks is not the big bulky notebooks, that's thunder, or even these smaller